Bonjour, I hope you are all doing very well. I'm happy to join you today to share a new Brocante haul. It's September here in France, and that is a month that is always very busy with Brocante every Sunday. And this past week I went to the big one that happens annually in the city of Marsac in Charente, and it was enormous. I had never been. I knew about it, but I'd never been because it's an hour away from home. And I went this time and it was just incredible. There was over 400 stall holders, most of whom were professionals or semi-professionals. So it was really just good pieces, and it was huge. So it was such a treat to just walk through the alleys and just see beautiful pieces after beautiful pieces after beautiful pieces. The Brocante started at 5 a.m, so you definitely had to come equipped with a torch to be able to start digging treasures early in the morning. I did go at 5 a.m. and I did snap a few things in the wee hours, and so I'm just going to show you my little treasure hunt from that day. The first piece I found that day was this incredible kilim rug. I think you know by now about my love for these gorgeous rugs, and this one is huge. I mean, I can't unfold it by myself, but it's, I think, 3.2 meters by 2.6 meters. So it's massive and so beautiful. And the funny thing is that it wasn't actually for sale. The lady had used it to put on the ground for her stall. And I saw that and I was like, how about the rug? She was like, wow, do you want that rug? I was like, yes. So that's the rug. I got it cleaned, and I'll show you after this video the process I followed to clean it. I was very happy when I came across this coupe, a cup, I imagine. It's 19th century, and it's typically was always made into two or three pieces and held by a screw running all through each pieces. And if you followed along for a little bit, you would know as well that I've got a few of these around the house already, and that I can be a little bit obsessive. When I like something, I like to find several of it because I really love displaying them in groups. I think it's always really impactful to have a group of the same type of pieces. And I really love that one because it has a feuille d'acanthe detail on each side. This is called the drageoir, and I wanted to show it to you because it is quite a classic thing in France. Drageoir is a dish that was used to put dragées or little sweets in, but mostly dragées. And dragées is the sweet that was given at ceremonies of baptism or weddings, and typically you kept some as a souvenir of that day. So that would have been the dish to present them in. And that's 19th century mouth-blown glass. And I love those. I've got a few, and I quite like, again, grouping them together and just playing with their different heights. It's a very beautiful object on its own, and you can sort of use it for many different things. I've put almonds in mine, or even in a bathroom you can put cotton discs or sweets or many things. This is a lithography, and it's an English one. It's called Psyche Going to Base, and I got it because I'm really fond of the story of Psyche et Amour, Psyche and Love. It's a mythological story, and so I thought that was really sweet. And I especially love the oval shape of the frame and the colors of the lithography. It's becoming quite rare now to find these old piqués de coton, so having found 3 that day, I was pretty chuffed. And I mean, this one is just incredible. It's a pair, these two, but one is slightly lighter. But the colors, the pattern, and the quality, that's 19th century. But the fabric is still really, it's still in great condition. The colors are glorious, and yeah, I just get so happy when I find these. There's something about fabric, vintage fabric, I can't explain what it is. So I got this cleaned, and just after this, I'll show you the process I followed as well. And just to make sure that, you know, you don't damage the fabric whilst still getting it cleaned, because, you know, that's been sitting in cupboards for decades or more sometimes, and it needs a clean. So there is also this one that is slightly lighter, but the same pattern. And then I have a bluish one that I'm yet to clean, but same sort of beautiful colors. And this one, the back of it is damaged. So I think I'm going to make cushions or maybe a jacket with it, because it's got holes, like it's a little bit damaged. So this one is definitely for making things with. I got this bas-relief from a dealer I know, and I mean, if you've seen the house, you know why I got this. It's totally up my alley. That's plaster that's been molded, and the patterns are just so lovely. I'm yet to decide what to do about the color, because that's not the original color. Someone has clearly come and sort of tried to do an aged effect with grey paint, and I'm not a fan of that. So I'm going to see where it's going to go, and depending on its final spot, I may whiten it. I have a little technique for that, and if I do whiten it, I'll show you how I do it. But oh man, so nice. I got some little pictures for my children. This will go in my daughter's bedroom. It's a lithographie called Le Jeu de la Toupie. And for my son, I got this mythological scene. It's a little bit damaged, but it's quite, I think that would be late 19th century. And yeah, I really like the scene. It says Compagnon de Diomède en oiseau. So just small pieces. I also got this huge platter, and I really liked it because of the patterns on it. It's got polka dots and tiny stars all around the room. And this I will likely put up on a wall, because again, I think it's quite an impactful piece. And I've also got a lot of serving platters, so I think I don't need one more. And the final piece I wanted to show you is this very simple glass, because I wanted to share that this is what Brocante is about. I've been collecting this type of glass, this shape and this finish for, I think I started 2 or 3 years ago. I think I've only got 6 or 7 so far. And I feel like this is what Brocante is about. You just go and you don't know what you are going to find, but you go, and maybe that day you'll stumble upon one more of the glasses that you've started collecting, or you'll stumble upon, I don't know, whatever it is that you've been patiently waiting for. And that very simple glass made me incredibly happy, because to me, yeah, that's what Brocante is about. It's patience, waiting for what feels right to you, not filling up a hole in a room with whatever, but waiting for that right thing to come along and being patient. And then the joy is that much bigger when you do come across that simple thing that makes your heart sing. So one more glass. To clean the rug, I followed the thoughtful step-by-step by my Insta friend Isabelle, and I'll link her account in the description box if you'd like to visit her too. I laid the rug flat on a drop cloth outdoors and gave it a first clean with a leaf blower, although a vacuum would work just as well. I then soaked both sides with the garden hose. In a bucket, I mixed a little wool detergent with water and poured it gently onto the rug, brushing the surface thoroughly with a broom each time before moving to the next area. I repeated the same process on the other side. Once both sides were clean, I carefully rinsed them using a water blaster on its softest setting. It's important to take your time here to make sure every bit of soap is gone. Then, with a bit of teamwork, we lifted the rug onto a line to dry. If you try this, be sure to place it in the shade or choose a softly overcast day to protect the colors from fading in the sun. As for the antique piqué de coton, the first step is to gently check that the fabric is strong enough to handle a machine wash. I placed it in a shallow warm water in the bathtub and sprinkled it generously with percarbonate of soda. Then I added more water to fully submerge the fabric and let it soak for a few hours, checking in from time to time to make sure the colors stayed true. After soaking, I rinsed it well until the water ran clear. This can take a little patience. If the fabric still feels strong and the stitching is holding well, I give it a delicate machine wash on the lowest spin cycle before letting it drip dry outdoors in the shade. I wouldn't recommend putting an antique piqué in the dryer. As always, it's a quiet joy to bring these pieces home, to think of the hands that once cared for them and of the lives that they've gently passed through. Each mark or stitch tells a small part of someone's story, and now, for a time, they are a part of ours too. I filled my drageoir with sweets, inspired by a charming idea from the wonderful antique dealer Nomibis. I'll also link her account in the description box if you'd like to discover her world. Thank you for joining me today. Let me know if one of these pieces caught your eye. I'd love to know which one and why. I wish you a beautiful week. À bientôt.